fern uncrumpling her new leaves, the green slopes starred with crocuses, fields of buttercups and marigolds, forests paved with bluebells, lilac bushes, the trailing gold of the laburnums, and the sharp green of the awakening beech trees. And she heard the cuckoo's note and 1,000 other unknown sounds of meadow, wood, and stream. And before her passed the whole pageant of the spring, with its joyous music and its 1,001 sights. The vision disappeared, and she cried out, "Let me go into the world and let me taste and see this wonderful new thing." Rainbow said nothing about her vision, either to her parents or to her nurses, but she resolved to steal out of the palace as soon as she could, and to see in the world what her vision had shown her. But that very evening she fell ill, and she was obliged to go to bed. The next day she was no better, and a week passed and she was just as ill as ever. All the wisest physicians of the land examined her, but not one of them could say what was the matter with her. Some of them prescribed medicines, and others strange things to eat and drink, but none of them did her the least good. The months went by, and Rainbow was still lying in bed, suffering from a strange malady, which nobody could even find a name for. When the spring was past, Rainbow was borne on a couch into the garden of the palace, but she got no better. At last the queen sent for a wise woman who lived in a wood near the city, and asked her advice. The wise woman was told Rainbow's history and what the gypsy had said, and after she had looked at Rainbow and spoken to her, she said to the queen, "I understand what has happened. Your daughter has seen the spring." "But that's impossible," said the queen, "for during the whole of the spring months she has never left her room." "Somehow or other the spring has reached her," said the old woman. And then she asked Rainbow some more questions, and at last Rainbow told her about the tune she had heard on her birthday, and the vision she had seen. "I knew it," said the old woman. "She heard somebody playing the spring's own tune, and she won't get well until she hears it again, and even then her troubles will be far from ended." So saying, the old woman went her way. The king at once sent for the court musicians and told them to play the spring's song. They fiddled, and they blew upon every kind of pipe and flute. They beat the cymbals and struck the harp, but none of these tunes kindled the slightest interest in Rainbow or roused her from her listlessness. The king then issued a proclamation saying that whoever should play the song that cured Rainbow would receive any reward he should ask for, and even, if he wished it, his daughter's hand. The news was spread far and wide, and people came from the 4 corners of the world to play to the princess. First of all, a lad came from the northern country, where he had slain a huge dragon in single combat, and he said that if anyone knew the song of spring, he did, for the birds themselves had taught it him. And when he was shown into the princess's room, he blew a blast on his horn so strong that the rafters trembled, and so sweet that the palace seemed to be full of the scent of the northern forests. But Rainbow paid no heed, and the lad went his way. Then a minstrel came from Greece. He had fairy ears and a pointed beard, and he played on a double pipe, and he said, "I know the song of spring if anyone knows it, for the bees taught it me." He breathed on his pipe, and the whole room seemed to be full of the smell of thyme, the murmur of reeds, and the drone of bees. But Rainbow paid no heed to him, and the minstrel went his way. Then there came a man who carried a lyre. His face was beautiful and sad, and he said, "I know the song of spring if anyone knows it, for I heard it played in the happy fields." And he struck his lyre and sang a song which was so lovely and so plaintive that the horses neighed in their stalls, the dogs came to listen, and the trees of the garden bent over the palace windows.